405's been stopped for 47 minutes. I know because Lily keeps asking and the clock on the Subaru's dashboard. The Outback we bought 3 years ago when gas prices made the expedition impractical. Hasn't moved past 3:47 p.m. since we merged from Sunset. She's 7. Second grade at Westwood Charter. Mrs. Humphrey's class. She's supposed to have a playdate with Zoe Kellerman tomorrow at 4 p.m., which I wrote on the calendar in the kitchen, which is 19 miles behind us. 19 miles we're not getting back to. Not with the smoke. Dad. My tablet's at 12%. Use the car charger, Lil. It's not working. The port thing's loose. Rachel's in the passenger seat scrolling her phone, refreshing the same traffic app over and over. The 405 North is red from Long Beach to the Valley. Everything's red. She worked at Cedars-Sinai. Pediatric nurse. She left at 2 p.m. when they announced the evacuation for Zone 7, which includes Westwood, Brentwood, and half of Santa Monica. I left Deloitte at 2:15. Made it to Lily's school by 2:40. Every parent in the parking lot, teachers looking overwhelmed. Grabbed our daughter and headed north like the alert said. Emergency alert. Los Angeles evacuation routes compromised. That came through 17 minutes ago. The alert didn't say how they're compromised. Didn't say what to do if you're already on the compromised routes. How much water do we have? Rachel asks. She's still scrolling. 2 bottles. The Arrowhead ones. That's not enough. I know that's not enough. We were supposed to be in Ventura by now. I don't mean to snap. She knows I don't mean it. 21 years married. She knows. The smoke's getting thicker. I can see it rolling over the overpass ahead, the one that crosses over the Getty Center exit. It's not fire smoke. I've seen fire smoke. This is gray, almost purple at the edges, and it's moving wrong. Smoke's supposed to rise. This stuff's settling into the valley between overpasses like it's heavier than air. There's a guy 3 cars ahead. Honda Civic, blue, one of those older models with the spoiler, who's been leaning on his horn every 30 seconds. Like that's going to move traffic. Like any of us chose to be here. The Altima directly in front of us has a family of 4 sticker in the back window. 2 adults, 2 kids. I can see the mom turned around talking to someone in the back seat. Normal evacuation traffic. Except nothing's moving and that smoke keeps getting closer. My throat hurts, Lily says. Rachel turns around. Honey, roll up your window all the way. It is all the way. Check the back vents. Make sure they're closed. I've already got the cabin air on recirculate. The Subaru's got a decent filter system. We paid extra for that when we bought it. Some HEPA thing the dealer said would help with LA smog. I'm watching the smoke in the rear view. It's maybe 200 yards back now, creeping between cars, around a UPS truck that's been stopped in the far right lane since before we merged. My phone vibrates. Text from Preston, my manager at Deloitte. He made it out an hour before the evacuation order. Lives in Pasadena. You good? I don't respond. What am I supposed to say? We're great. Just sitting on the most expensive parking lot in America breathing purple smoke? Drink some water, Lil. Small sips. Can I have a snack? Did you bring snacks? Rachel asks me. No. I brought our daughter. From school. During an evacuation. Was I supposed to stop at Trader Joe's? She doesn't respond to that. Just goes back to her phone. I see her jaw clench. She does that when she's scared and doesn't want Lily to know. The Honda Civic guy leans on his horn again. Long blast this time. 5 seconds. Someone further up responds, another horn, then another. It's like they're talking to each other, saying, we know. We see it too. We're stuck just like you. Emergency alert. Do not abandon vehicles. Shelter in place if immobile. Rachel reads it out loud. Shelter in place if immobile. We're in a Subaru on the freeway. What shelter? Windows up, vents closed. I say, that's the shelter we've got. This is insane. Why aren't they letting us exit? There's Sunset right there. She points to the exit we passed 30 minutes ago. The off-ramp's backed up with cars trying to merge. Not moving either. The smoke's closer. I can see it's not uniform. There are dense patches and thin patches like it's got texture. The UPS truck behind us disappears into a thick part. For maybe 10 seconds, I can't see the truck at all. Then it emerges, still sitting there, still not moving. Rachel, did you see that? See what? The smoke. It's not moving with the wind. It's moving, I don't know how to explain it, on its own. She looks at me like I'm not helping, which is fair. I'm not helping. Nobody's helping. We've been trained our whole lives to believe someone's in charge. Someone's handling this. Someone's got a plan. But the alerts keep saying the same useless things, and we're still sitting here, and that smoke's now 100 yards back. There's movement in the family of 4 Ultima. The passenger door opens. A man gets out, polo shirt, khakis, maybe 45. He walks to the guardrail and looks north up the freeway. Just stands there looking, like he's going to see something the rest of us can't see from our cars. What's he doing? Lily asks. Checking the traffic, sweetie. Is traffic bad? Yes, baby. Traffic's bad. The guy walks back to his car but doesn't get in. He leans against the hood, takes out his phone. I watch him in my side mirror. He's talking to someone, arguing maybe, shaking his head. Then he looks south, looks right at the smoke rolling toward us, and I see his face change. He runs back to the driver's side, gets in. The Ultima starts moving, not forward, to the left, trying to change lanes. But there's no space. Cars are packed tight in all 5 lanes. He's trying to get out, Rachel says. There's nowhere to go. The Ultima lurches left anyway, bumps the Camry next to it. I hear the crunch even through our closed windows. The Camry driver lays on the horn. The Ultima keeps pushing. There's more crunching, metal on metal, and the Ultima's now wedged at an angle between lanes. David, what's happening? People are panicking. The smoke hits the UPS truck. This time I'm watching. This time I see what happens. The truck shakes, not like wind shaking it, like something inside it is shaking. The rear door, the one that rolls up, starts rattling. Then it stops. Everything stops. The truck just sits there in the smoke. And then the driver's door opens. Someone gets out. I'm too far to see details, but it's a person. They're moving wrong though. Stiff, like their joints don't bend right. They walk, if you can call it walking, to the guardrail and start climbing over it. Did you see that? I ask Rachel. See what? I'm trying to find out what's happening on the news. She's still on her phone. There's no news, just the same alerts repeating. The smoke's 75 yards back now. I can smell it even with the vents closed. It smells like burning plastic mixed with something organic. Something wrong. Lily starts coughing. Lil, you okay? My throat. She coughs again. Hard. Rachel unbuckles, climbs into the back seat. Honey, drink some water. Here. She opens one of the Arrowhead bottles. Lily drinks. It tastes weird, Lily says. The water, everything. My mouth tastes like metal. I look at Rachel. She's checking Lily's face, her eyes, her throat. Professional assessment. Her nurse training kicking in. She's okay, Rachel says, but she doesn't sound sure. Just keep drinking, Lil. The smoke's 50 yards back. Cars are starting to notice. I see brake lights flashing like people are trying to move forward through sheer will. The horn symphony's getting louder. More people getting out of their cars now, whole families, some of them. A woman in a Tesla 2 lanes over is lifting a toddler out of a car seat. They're evacuating on foot, Rachel says. Where are they going? We're on an overpass. Anywhere but here. She's right. I can see it now, 20-30 people climbing over guardrails, heading for the slopes on either side of the freeway. Some going uphill toward the Getty Center, others going downhill toward the neighborhoods below, taking their chances on foot. Should we? Rachel starts. The alert said shelter in place. The alert also said routes were compromised. The alert doesn't know what it's talking about. Lily's coughing again. Harder this time. The smoke reaches the Ultima. The family of 4 is still inside. I can see their faces, the mom turning around, the kids in the back. Then the smoke covers them completely and I can't see anything. 10 seconds. 20. 30. The Altima's driver door opens. The man who was wearing the polo shirt gets out. Except it's not getting out, not exactly. It's more like unfolding. His movements are wrong. His arms are too long. No, his arms are normal length, but they're bending at new places. Extra joints appearing in the forearm, in the wrist. Rachel! I see it. Oh God! I see it. The man-thing turns toward us. His face is still his face, but the skin's pulling tight, stretching across bones that are shifting underneath. His mouth opens, keeps opening, wider than mouth should open. And then I see his family. The woman, the 2 kids. They're getting out too. All of them moving wrong. All of them changing. Dad! Lily's voice is very small. The smoke's 30 yards back. I start the engine. I've had it off to save gas. Stupid. Should have kept it running. What are you doing? Rachel asks. We're leaving. The alert said. I don't care what the alert said. Look at them. I point at the Altima family. They're walking toward us now. All 4 of them. Their legs bending backwards at the knee, forwards at new joints that shouldn't exist. They're sick, Rachel says. It's some kind of contamination. Chemical maybe. We need to get Lily out of here. I put the Outback in drive. There's nowhere to go. The Honda Civic is directly ahead. Cars to the left, guardrail to the right. I turn the wheel hard right, mount the narrow shoulder. The car tilts. Lily screams, David, you're going to flip us. I'm not staying here. The Subaru scrapes along the guardrail. Keep going. The shoulder's only about 3 feet wide, but I'm making it work. Other cars see what I'm doing. I hear engines starting. Everyone's making the same calculation now. Whatever was in that smoke is worse than traffic laws. 20 yards back. The transformed people are spreading out. Not just the Altima family. They're coming from the cars behind us, moving in that wrong way. Some of them are still changing, bones cracking audibly, skin splitting and resealing. The Honda Civic guy sees them too. He abandons his car, runs north on foot between lanes. One of the transformed things lunges after him, catches him in 3 strides that cover 20 feet. The thing was human 2 minutes ago, wore a business suit, drove a BMW. Now it's taking the Honda Civic guy down on the asphalt and I can't see what happens next because I'm still scraping along the guardrail trying to get past the traffic. Lily's crying. Rachel's holding her, telling her not to look. The smoke hits us. I feel it before I see it. The temperature inside the car drops. My breath fogs. The windows frost over from the inside. Actual frost, crystalline patterns forming in seconds. Close the vents. Rachel screams. They're already closed. The smoke's inside anyway. Coming through the cabin air filter, through the door seals, through places I didn't know cars had gaps. It tastes like copper, like electricity, like nothing natural. Lily starts coughing. So does Rachel. So do I. And my hands. I'm watching my hands on the steering wheel. My hands are changing. No, not changing. I'm seeing wrong. It's the smoke. It's in my eyes, making everything look distorted. I blink hard. Once, twice. My hands are still my hands. Wedding ring on the left, callus on the right index finger from using a pen wrong for 23 years at Deloitte. Normal hands. Human hands. But Lily, Rachel, check her. Check Lily right now. Rachel's already doing it. Running her hands over Lily's arms, her face. Looking for, what? Deformities? Extra joints? I don't know what we're looking for. I don't know what's happening. She's okay, Rachel says. She's okay, she's okay. Saying it like a prayer. The Subaru lurches forward. I've cleared the initial blockage. The shoulder widens ahead where there's a disabled vehicle zone. I can see maybe 50 yards of open space along the guardrail. Other cars are following my lead now. Whole line of them mounting the shoulder, scraping paint, not caring. In the rear view, smoke, transformed people, chaos. The 405 North has become something else. An incubator, a feeding ground. I see a woman climbing over a Jersey barrier, normal human woman, maybe 30, wearing a Lululemon running outfit, and I watch her disappear into the smoke. 5 seconds later, she comes back out, but she's not her anymore. Her spine's curved the wrong way. Her head's tilted at an angle that should break her neck, and she's moving fast. Don't look back, I tell Rachel. Where are we going? Good question. The shoulder runs along the overpass, but it ends eventually. Ends at the Getty Center exit, which is a quarter mile ahead. I can see it through the smoke, the off-ramp rising up and to the right. Cars are piled up there too, but some of them are moving. Some of them got past the gridlock, the Getty exit. If we can get off the freeway and go where? Into Brentwood? That's Zone 7. That's why we evacuated. I don't know, Rachel. I don't have a plan. I have a steering wheel and 40% of a tank of gas, and I'm trying to keep us away from those things. Lily's stopped crying. That's worse somehow. She's just staring out the window, watching the transformed people spread through the stopped traffic behind us, watching them pull drivers out of cars, watching what happens next. Lily, close your eyes, I say. She doesn't close her eyes. A CHP cruiser appears ahead, parked sideways across the shoulder, blocking it. There's an officer standing next to it. Female, Hispanic, maybe late 30s. She's wearing a respirator mask and waving cars back, away from the exit. I slow down, stop about 15 feet from her. She approaches my window. I crack it an inch. Sir, you need to return to the main lanes and shelter in place. Officer, there are people, things back there attacking cars. We're not going back. She looks past me. I see her expression change behind the mask. She sees the smoke, the movement, the chaos. Chemical contamination, she says. Unknown agent. You've been exposed. We were inside our car. Vents closed. But the smoke got in anyway. She's looking at my hands through the window. Looking at Rachel. Looking at Lily in the back seat. You showing any symptoms? Joint pain? Visual distortions? Taste changes? My daughter said things taste like metal. And we're all coughing. The officer steps back, unsnaps her holster, doesn't draw, but the message is clear. I can't let you exit here. Getty Center's being used as a triage point. We're not allowing potentially contaminated civilians into the perimeter. So what are we supposed to do? Go back into that. I point behind us. More cars are mounting the shoulder now, creating a second line of traffic trying to escape. And the transformed people are coming. I can see them between vehicles, moving with that horrible efficiency. I have my orders, sir. Return to your vehicle position and wait for decontamination teams. Something hits the CHP cruiser. The whole car rocks. We all turn. There's a man on top of it. Was a man. He's wearing a Lakers jersey, jeans, and Nikes. His legs have reconfigured themselves. Knees bending backwards, new joints in the thighs, feet elongated into something between human and something else. He must have been in one of the cars behind us. Must have transformed in the last 2 minutes. The officer draws her weapon. Get down from the vehicle. Get down now. The thing that used to be Lakers fan jumps from the cruiser roof directly at her. I don't see what happens next because I'm already slamming the accelerator, steering around the cruiser, aiming for the gap between it and the guardrail. David, you can't. Watch me. The Subaru's not built for this. It's a family car. We bought it for weekend trips to Big Sur, for driving Lily to soccer practice. Not for off-roading through CHP blockades during biological contamination events. But the Outback's got decent ground clearance and the gap's just wide enough. We scrape through. I hear something tear underneath. Probably the plastic lower panel, and the whole car shudders. But we're past the cruiser. On the Getty Center exit ramp now. Behind us, gunshots. 3, 4, 5. Then screaming. The exit ramp curves up and right. There are cars here, but they're spaced out, moving slowly. I can see over the side rail down to the 405 below, the main freeway we just escaped from. It's completely stopped now. The smoke's covering multiple lanes, and there are dozens of them, maybe hundreds, all moving through the traffic like sharks. Is that what we're going to turn into? Rachel asks quietly. How do you know? Because we got out before full exposure. Because we're going to find whoever's in charge and get decontaminated. Because Lily's going to be fine. I'm saying words. I don't know if any of them are true. The exit ramp ends at a T intersection. Left goes toward Brentwood neighborhoods. Right goes toward the Getty Center. There's another blockade here, LAFD this time. 2 engines parked nose to tail across the intersection. But there's activity, purpose. A guy in full hazmat gear is directing traffic to the right. I pull up, window still just cracked. Getty Center triage? Ask. The hazmat guy, his suit says LA County Fire, nods. Follow the road up. They're processing civilians in the main plaza. You've been exposed. Yes. We were on the 405 when the smoke hit. Any visible symptoms? Morphological changes. What? Are your bones moving wrong? No. Just coughing. Taste changes. He pulls a handheld scanner from his belt, aims it at me through the window gap. Some kind of thermal or chemical detector. It beeps twice. He checks the readout. You're borderline, maybe early stage. Get to triage immediately. They've got suppression treatment if you're not too far gone. Suppression treatment? There's a treatment. Experimental. CDC authorized it an hour ago. Doesn't work on everyone and it doesn't reverse changes, but it stops progression in some cases. He waves me through. Go. Now. I drive up the road toward the Getty Center. The museum sits on top of a hill overlooking the city. Big modern architecture, white travertine stone, usually full of tourists. Today it's full of refugees. There are hundreds of people in the main plaza. Families sitting on the ground. Medical personnel in hazmat suits moving between them. Military vehicles, actual army trucks with the star insignia. I can see a Black Hawk helicopter on the landing pad to the north. I park in what used to be a loading zone. Nobody cares about parking regulations now. We get out. The air's clearer up here. The smoke hasn't reached the hilltop yet, but I can see it down below, spreading through the Sepulveda Pass like a living thing. Rachel's holding Lily. My daughter's face is pale. Too pale. Her lips are blue, Rachel says. David, her lips are blue. A medic approaches, woman in her 50s, wearing scrubs under a hazmat jacket. You just came from the freeway? Yes. My daughter. Bring her this way. We'll get her processed. We follow her toward a series of medical tents set up between the museum's main buildings. There are triage categories marked with colored tape on the ground. Green for unexposed, yellow for exposed but asymptomatic, red for symptomatic, black for, I don't look at the black section. We're directed to yellow. A doctor, young guy, maybe resident age, Cedars-Sinai badge on his jacket, meets us at the tent entrance. Names: David Rosen, my wife Rachel Rosen, daughter Lily Rosen. He's writing on a tablet. Address. What does that matter? We're tracking exposure by zone. Address: Westwood, near UCLA. Zone 7. When did you evacuate? About 2 hours ago. Got stuck on the 405 at... I check my watch. It's only 4:15 p.m. Feels like days. At around 3:30. Direct smoke exposure? Yes, in our vehicle. The smoke got through the air filter. He's examining Lily now, checking her eyes with a pen light, feeling her joints, looking for deformities. She's early stage, he says. Calcium restructuring has started. You can see it here. He touches Lily's elbow. I can see what he means. The joint's swollen slightly, and there's something moving under the skin. Something that looks like bone fragments rearranging themselves. But it's minimal. She's a good candidate for suppression. What is it? Rachel asks. What's causing this? We don't know. Something biological, airborne, spreads through the initial smoke delivery, then becomes bloodborne through exposure. It triggers rapid morphological changes, complete skeletal reconstruction, nervous system rewiring. The transformed individuals show no higher brain function. They're aggressive, fast, and they spread the infection through contact. So it's a virus, maybe, or a prion, or something we don't have a name for yet. Initial report came from Griffith Park this morning. Some kind of seismic event, earthquake maybe, except USGS didn't register anything. The smoke came up from the fissure, spread west across Hollywood and into the valley. By the time we understood what was happening, half of LA was already exposed. He's still examining Lily while he talks. Professional detachment. I recognize it from Rachel's nursing work. You can't break down every time something's horrible. You compartmentalize and do the job. The suppression treatment, I say. What is it? Combination of immunosuppressants and calcium channel blockers. It interrupts the restructuring process at the cellular level. Doesn't cure, doesn't reverse, just stops progression if we catch it early enough. Side effects. She'll feel like she has severe flu for 3 to 4 days. Fever, nausea, muscle pain. But she'll still be human at the end of it. Rachel looks at me. I see the question in her eyes. We're both thinking the same thing. Experimental treatment, unknown origin disease, putting our daughter through days of suffering on the word of a doctor we've known for 90 seconds during an apocalypse. Do it, I say. I need parental consent. Both of you. Rachel nods. Do it. The doctor calls over a nurse, another hazmat suit, this one with a cart full of medical supplies. They set up in 4 in Lily's arm. She whimpers but doesn't cry. My daughter's braver than I am. This will take about 30 minutes to infuse, the doctor says. We'll monitor her for another hour after that. If she stays stable, you'll be cleared to the green zone. And then what? Rachel asks. Where do we go? Camp 7 at UCLA is taking Zone 7 refugees. That's probably where you'll be routed. Back to Westwood? That's the evacuation zone. The smoke doesn't cross water. UCLA's safe. It's on the western edge, near the ocean. Fire breaks plus the marine layer keeps contamination out. He pauses. Probably. Great. I watch the 4 drip into Lily's arm. Clear fluid. Could be anything. Could be saving her life. Could be poison. I have to trust someone. Have to believe the people in hazmat suits know more than I do. There's commotion at the far end of the plaza. Shouting. I turn and see people running toward the triage tents. A hazmat worker's waving his arms. Perimeter breach. We have transformations in the green zone, the doctor swears. They're not supposed to be able to reach the hilltop for another 2 hours. The smoke density. He doesn't finish. We all see it now. 3 of them coming over the plaza wall. Moving fast. They were human 5 minutes ago, probably sitting in the green zone thinking they were safe. Maybe they lied about exposure. Maybe they didn't realize they were infected. Doesn't matter now. Security personnel are responding, actual soldiers with rifles. I hear gunfire. The transformed people go down. But there are more coming. The smoke's rising faster than anyone predicted. I can see it creeping up the access road we just drove. We need to evacuate, the doctor says. He's pulling the 4 out of Lily's arm, capping it with shaking hands. She's got maybe 60% of the dose. It'll have to be enough. Where do we go? Ask. The helicopter pad. They're airlifting priority cases to Naval Base Ventura County. You qualify. Child under 10 with partial treatment. He's moving us out of the tent, toward the north side of the complex. Other medical personnel are doing the same, whole families being herded toward the landing pad. The Black Hawk's rotors are already spinning up. We're running now. Rachel's carrying Lily. I'm carrying nothing. I didn't grab anything from the car. No go bag, no supplies. Everything we own is still in Westwood, in a house that's probably inside the smoke zone by now. The helicopter pad's in chaos. Maybe 30 people trying to board. The crew chief, Navy guy, older, gray hair under his helmet, is controlling the line. Medical cases first. If you're not symptomatic, You wait for the next bird. We push forward. The doctor's still with us, shouting at the crew chief. This girl's received partial suppression treatment. She needs priority evac. The crew chief looks at Lily, looks at Rachel and me. How much exposure? Direct smoke contact. Early stage morphological changes. Treatment 60% complete. She's stable. For now. The crew chief waves us forward. We climb into the Black Hawk. The interior's already half full, other families, some with children, all looking shell-shocked. Through the open door, I can see the Getty Center Plaza. The smoke's over the wall now. Dozens of transformed people pouring through. The soldiers are falling back, still firing, but there are too many. The helicopter lifts off, and I'm watching Los Angeles die. The whole city's covered in smoke now. I can see it from the air. Gray-purple masses spreading through the basin like ink in water. The freeways are frozen lines of red taillights. Neighborhoods going dark as power fails. And everywhere, people transforming. Lily's in Rachel's lap, eyes closed. The 4 bags still connected, hanging from a cargo net. She's shivering. Is she okay? I shout over the rotor noise. Rachel checks her pulse, her breathing. I think so. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. The helicopter banks west, heading for the coast. I can see the ocean ahead, dark blue, clean, untouched by whatever's destroying everything we know. The crew chief hands me a headset. I put it on. You've got family back there? His voice crackles through the speakers. Everyone, I say. My parents, Rachel's parents, her sister's family. All in the basin. I'm sorry. What do you say to that? Thanks? It's okay? Nothing's okay. What happens at Ventura? Ask. Full decontamination, complete medical workup, quarantine until we're sure you're not carrying active infection. After that, he shrugs. Depends on how many people make it out. Could be days in temporary housing. Could be permanent relocation. No one knows yet. How many cities? What? How many cities have this? Is it just LA? He doesn't answer right away. When he does, his voice is quieter. Phoenix reported smoke 3 hours ago. San Diego 2 hours ago. Vegas 90 minutes ago. All major population centers in Southern California and Arizona. We don't know if it's spreading or if it hit everywhere simultaneously. Rachel's heard this through her headset. She's staring at me. We're both doing the math. 8 million people in LA County alone. Double that across the affected areas. Even if the suppression treatment works, even if they evacuate everyone they can, even if the smoke stops spreading. How many people have died? Rachel asks. The crew chief doesn't answer that one. Lily opens her eyes, looks up at Rachel, then at me. Dad? Are we safe now? I want to say yes. Want to tell her everything's going to be fine. Want to be the father who protects his daughter from everything scary in the world. I don't know, Lil. That's all I've got. That's all any of us have got. The helicopter carries us west across Malibu, over the Pacific Coast Highway, out over the ocean where the smoke can't follow. Behind us, Los Angeles burns without fire. The naval base appears below, Point Magoo, the crew chief calls it. I can see the runways, the buildings, and what looks like a massive tent city spreading across the auxiliary fields. Hundreds of white tents, maybe thousands, already packed with refugees. We land on a concrete pad marked with a big yellow 7. There are 3 other helicopters here, rotors spinning down. Medical teams in full hazmat suits waiting. The crew chief opens the door. Everyone out. Stay with your families. Follow the colored lines. We climb down. The wash from the rotors is deafening. Lily's still shaking, the treatment or fear, I can't tell. Rachel's got her arm around our daughter's shoulders, holding her upright. A hazmat worker approaches with a scanner. Same kind the LAFD guy used at the Getty. Stand still, please. He waves the device over each of us. It beeps differently for each person. Green tone for me, yellow for Rachel, red for Lily. The child needs immediate secondary treatment. Follow the red line to Medical Building 3. He points toward a large structure to the east. What about us? Ask. Yellow zone is primary quarantine. 24-hour observation. You'll be housed separately from the red zone until we confirm you're not actively transforming. I'm not leaving my daughter, sir. Those are the protocols. I don't care about protocols. My 7-year-old daughter is not going into a medical building without her parents. The hazmat worker looks at Rachel. She nods firmly. We stay together. He sighs. I can hear it through the respirator. Let me check with the supervising physician. He walks away, talking into a radio. More helicopters are landing, civilian ones now, news choppers pressed into evacuation duty. A steady stream of people flowing into the base. The tent city's getting more crowded by the minute. I look west. The ocean's right there. 200 yards, maybe. Clean water stretching to the horizon. Behind us, east, the smoke's visible even from here. A purple-gray wall rising over the mountains. The hazmat worker returns with someone new, older man, military bearing, doctor's insignia on his hazmat suit. I'm Colonel Reeves, medical coordinator for the evacuation. Your daughter received partial suppression treatment at Getty Center. Yes, about 60% of the full dose. And you're symptomatic? He's looking at Rachel. Minor, metallic taste, some coughing. No morphological changes yet. Yet, he repeats. Mrs. Rosen, I need to be frank with you. The suppression treatment has a narrow window of effectiveness. Your daughter got it early enough that her odds are good, maybe 70% chance of permanent arrest. But if you're already showing symptoms and you haven't been treated, your window is closing. We're talking hours, not days. Rachel's face goes very still. How many hours? Depends on individual biology and exposure level. Could be 4, could be 12. The transformation accelerates exponentially once it starts. So treat me now. We're rationing doses. Priority is children under 12 and pregnant women. Adult doses are being reserved for essential personnel, medical staff, security, logistics. I can put you on the list, but there's no guarantee. I watch my wife process this. 21 years I've known her. I've seen her handle codes in the pediatric ICU, seen her tell parents their children might not make it, seen her stay calm when everyone else panics. But this is different. This is her own mortality. Put me on the list, she says quietly. I'll do what I can. In the meantime, you can stay with your daughter during treatment. But Mr. Rosen, he turns to me, you're asymptomatic. That means you go to yellow zone quarantine. My wife and daughter will be in Medical Building 3. You'll be in Quarantine Sector B, half a mile apart. If you're still clean after 24 hours, you'll be released to general population and you can reunite. And if Rachel transforms before she gets treatment, his silence is the answer. No, I say. We stay together. Mr. Rosen, we've got 20,000 refugees flooding this base in the next 6 hours. We're setting up quarantine protocols to prevent mass transformation events inside the perimeter. Your feelings don't matter. Your family unity doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is containing this before it spreads to the evacuation center. You said the smoke doesn't cross water. We're at a naval base on the coast. We're safe here. The smoke doesn't cross water. But the transformed individuals do. They can swim. They can climb. They can think just enough to hunt. We've already had 3 breaches at San Diego's evacuation point. 67 people transformed inside the perimeter before security put them down. 67 people who got past initial screening because they were asymptomatic when they arrived and symptomatic 30 minutes later. He leans closer. I will not let that happen here. So you have 2 choices. You go to yellow zone quarantine voluntarily, or I have you escorted by armed personnel. Your call. I look at Rachel. She nods slightly. Go, she says. Lily needs the treatment and they won't let her start until we're processed. 24 hours. We can do 24 hours. I crouch down to Lily's level. She's lucid now, looking at me with those big brown eyes. Rosen eyes, she got them from my mother. Hey Lil, I have to go to a different building for a little bit. Mom's going to stay with you. You're going to get some medicine that'll make you feel better. Okay? Why can't you stay? Because the doctors need to make sure I'm healthy. It's just for one day. Then I'll come find you and Mom and we'll figure out what's next. Will we go home? I don't know, sweetie. What about Zoe? And Mrs. Humphrey? And Grandma and Grandpa? I don't have answers. Don't know if Zoe's family made it out. Don't know if Mrs. Humphrey survived the school evacuation. Don't know about my parents in Sherman Oaks or Rachel's parents in Encino, both deep in the contamination zone. We'll find out, I say. It's not a lie. It's not the truth either. I love you, Lil. Love you too, Dad. I hug her. Hug Rachel. Then I'm following a different colored line, yellow toward Quarantine Sector B, while they follow the red line toward Medical Building 3. I turn back once. Rachel's carrying Lily again. Our daughter's head is on her mother's shoulder. They're walking through crowds of other refugees, other families torn apart by colored lines and protocols and the brutal mathematics of triage. Then they're gone into the building and I'm alone. Quarantine Sector B is a converted aircraft hangar. They've set up rows of cots, hundreds of them, separated by temporary plastic barriers. It's like a hospital ward designed by someone who's never seen a hospital. Harsh fluorescent lights, no privacy, the constant sound of people coughing, talking, crying. There's an intake station at the entrance. A woman in scrubs, no hazmat suit here, which I guess means they think we're low risk, checks my scanner results. Cot 247. Meals at 0, 600, 1200, and 1800. Bathrooms are at the north end. Do not leave the sector for any reason. If you develop symptoms, joint pain, visual distortions, taste changes, report to the medical station immediately. How do I contact my family? They're in Medical Building 3. You don't. Communication between zones is restricted. For 24 hours, I can't even. 24 hours minimum. Could be longer depending on your screening results. Next. She's already looking past me at the next person in line. I find cot 247. It's a military-issue canvas thing, thin mattress, scratchy gray blanket. There's a man on cot 246, 50s, business suit covered in dust, wedding ring on his finger. He's staring at his phone. No signal, probably, but he keeps staring anyway. I sit down on my cot, pull out my own phone. He's right, no signal. No Wi-Fi either. They've blocked communications. Can't have people posting videos of the evacuation chaos online. The hangar's filling up fast. Every helicopter that lands brings more yellow zone refugees. I see families splitting up just like mine did. Husbands separated from wives. Kids separated from parents. Everyone following different colored lines based on scanner results and arbitrary protocols. A kid, maybe 17, wearing a Dodgers hoodie, sits on the cot across from me. He's alone. Your family? Ask. Grandma and little brother went to red zone. Mom's in black zone. He says it flatly. Shock probably. Black zone. Where they put people who are too far transformed to save. Where they... I don't finish the thought. I'm sorry, I say. He shrugs. She was already changing when we got here. Her arms. She couldn't stop bending them wrong. Kept apologizing, like it was her fault. They took her to the black zone tent and I heard gunshots 20 minutes later. So, he stares at his hands. At least it was fast. Your grandma and brother will be okay, I say. No idea if that's true. Yeah. We sit in silence. Around us, hundreds of other conversations happening. People sharing stories, comparing symptoms, trying to find out what happened to neighborhoods, relatives, friends. A woman 3 cots down is crying. My husband went back. We were almost out of Brentwood and he said he forgot our photo albums. 40 years of photos. He turned the car around and drove back toward the smoke. That was 3 hours ago. No one knows what to say to her. Time moves weird in the hangar. No windows, so I can't track the sun. My watch says it's 6:30 p.m., but it feels like midnight. Feels like we've been here for days. They bring dinner at 1,800 like promised. MREs. I get chicken and rice. Tastes like cardboard, but I eat it anyway. Don't know when the next meal's coming. At 1945, the overhead speakers crackle to life. Attention all quarantine sectors. We have confirmed that the contamination smoke has reached Oxnard. Current wind patterns suggest it will arrive at Point Mugu within 3 to 4 hours. All personnel are implementing evacuation contingency plans. Remain calm and await further instructions. The hangar erupts. People shouting, demanding to know what contingency plans means. Where are we evacuating to? What about our families in other zones? The medical staff at the intake station have no answers. Or they have answers they're not sharing. I'm standing now, pushing toward the front. My wife and daughter are in Medical Building 3. Are you evacuating them? Sir, return to your cot. Are you evacuating the red zone? Priority evacuation is for essential personnel and completed treatment patients. Patients currently undergoing treatment will be transported if time allows. If time allows, how much time does the treatment take? Full suppression protocol is 6 hours minimum. I check my watch. We arrived at 16:30. It's now 19:45. That's 3 hours and 15 minutes. Lily's not even halfway through treatment. You're saying if the smoke gets here before treatment's done, you're leaving them behind. The medic doesn't answer. That's answer enough. I turn and run for the hangar exit. There are guards, actual armed Marines, stationed at the doors. They move to block me. Sir, you cannot leave quarantine. My daughter's in Medical Building 3. She's in the middle of treatment. I need to get to her. Medical Building 3 is red zone. Your yellow zone. Did you hear the announcement? They're evacuating essential personnel only. My daughter's 7 years old. Sir, step back or I will restrain you. He's got his hand on a zip tie. Not a weapon, they don't want to shoot refugees, but he'll physically restrain me if I push this. I step back, think, the hangar's in chaos now. People demanding information, trying to call relatives on phones that don't work, arguing with medical staff. The guards are focused on the main entrance. There's a side door. I noticed it earlier, marked emergency exit, probably leads to the flight line. There's no guard on it. Everyone's focused on the main entrance situation. I walk calmly back to my cot, grab my jacket. The guy in the business suit, cot 246, is watching me. Don't do it, he says quietly. They'll catch you. My daughter's 7. My daughter's 23. At UCLA. I don't know if she made it out. Don't know if she's transformed or dead or evacuated. I want to go look for her. Want to break out of here and find her. But I can't. Because if I'm infected and I don't know it yet, I become one of those things and I kill someone else's daughter. Maybe someone else's 7-year-old. I'm not infected. I tested clear. So did I. For hours ago. Symptoms can develop anytime in the first 12 hours post-exposure. He shows me his hands. They're trembling. This could be fear or early-stage transformation. I don't know. That's the point. Nobody knows. He's right. I know he's right. But it's Lily and Rachel who might not get treatment in time. And 24 hours that just got cut to 3. I can't just sit here. Yes, you can. It's the only thing you can do. But I'm already moving. Walking toward the emergency exit while everyone's distracted. 30 feet. 20. 10. I push the door open. I'm out on the flight line. Dark now, lit by sodium lights. I can see Medical Building 3 to the east. Maybe half a mile. I start running. Behind me, shouting. The guards noticed. But I'm already past the hangar, moving between parked aircraft. Plenty of places to hide. I keep running toward Medical Building 3. There are more guards ahead. They're everywhere. Perimeter security for the different zones. I can't just walk up to the red zone entrance. I need a different approach. The building has windows on the east side. Some of them are lit treatment rooms probably. I circle around, staying in shadows. There's a service entrance. Locked, but the door's got a window. I look through. Inside is chaos. Medical personnel running between rooms. Equipment being wheeled rapidly down corridors. They're preparing to evacuate. Loading critical patients onto gurneys, disconnecting 4 lines, packing medication. I see Rachel. She's in a room 20 feet from the door. Lily's on a hospital bed, still hooked to N4. Rachel's talking to a doctor, arguing with him. I can see her gestures even through the window. I pound on the glass. Rachel turns. Her expression, relief and horror mixed together. She says something to the doctor, then moves toward the door. She opens it a crack. "David, what are you doing? You're supposed to be in quarantine. They're evacuating essential personnel only. They announced it in yellow zone. I need to get you both out of here. Lily's treatment isn't finished. She needs 2 more hours minimum or the suppression won't hold. The morphological changes will restart. The smoke's going to be here in 3 hours. If we stay, we're dead. If we leave now, she transforms anyway. So we're dead either way." We stare at each other through the gap in the door. "Let me in," I say. "David, let me in or I'll break the window. Either way, I'm coming in." She opens the door wider. I slip inside. The doctor Rachel was arguing with approaches. "Sir, you're yellow zone. You can't be in red zone treatment areas. Are you evacuating my daughter? We're prioritizing patients who have completed primary treatment. Your daughter is still mid-protocol, so she's not priority. We have limited transport capacity. You're leaving her behind." His silence confirms it. "Then we're taking her ourselves," I say. "Mr. Rosen, if you remove your daughter from treatment prematurely, she will transform within 12 to 18 hours. The partial suppression will fail. She'll become one of those things you saw on the freeway. And if we stay here, the base is implementing containment protocols. We'll shelter in place in the hardened structures until the smoke passes. You can't shelter in place from the smoke. We tried that in our car. It got through anyway. These buildings have military-grade air filtration. So did the Getty Center. They had to evacuate anyway." The doctor looks exhausted. He's probably been working since this started. Probably lost count of how many people he's treated, how many he's watched transform anyway. "What do you want me to tell you?" he asks. "That everything's going to be fine? That we have this under control? We don't. We're making it up as we go. Every protocol we implement fails within 2 hours. Every evacuation point gets overrun. Every safe zone becomes a contamination zone. I don't have answers. I have a daughter your daughter's age, and I don't know if she's alive because she was at school in Pasadena, and I haven't been able to contact anyone in the basin since this started." His voice cracks. "So I'm doing what I can for the patients in front of me, and praying that someone somewhere figures out how to stop this before we're all transformed or dead." Rachel puts her hand on his arm. "Thank you for treating Lily. We're grateful for the time you gave her." He nods, walks away to another patient. I look at Lily. She's awake, watching us. Her skin's still too pale, but the blue tint is gone from her lips. The IV's still running. Clear fluid dripping into her arm at a steady rate. "How much treatment has she had?" I ask Rachel. "About 55% of the full protocol. The doctor says we need 80% minimum for permanent suppression." "How long is that?" "Another 90 minutes. I check my watch. That's 2 hours and 45 minutes. Cutting it close. We stay," I say. "We finish the treatment. And if the smoke gets here first, then we take our chances. Maybe the filtration works. Maybe we get lucky." "David, I saw what happened to the people in the cars. That's not luck. That's not chance. That's inevitability. You got a better plan?" She doesn't answer. We stay. The building's evacuation continues around us. I watch them wheel out the patients who completed treatment. Whole families, kids with tired eyes, parents who look shell-shocked. They're the lucky ones. got treated in time, will be on helicopters to Vandenberg or wherever they're moving the evacuation point next. There are maybe 20 patients left. The ones mid-treatment like Lily. The ones who aren't priority. A nurse comes by every 15 minutes to check Lily's adjust the drip rate. Each time I ask, can it go faster? Each time she says, no. Calcium channel blockers at high doses cause cardiac arrest. This is maximum safe speed. At 20:45, Rachel starts coughing. Not the dry cough from earlier. This is wet, deep, rattling in her chest. She tries to hide it, but I hear it anyway. Rachel, you're not fine. Let me get the doctor. The doctor left on the last helicopter. There are only nurses now, and they can't treat me anyway. They're out of adult doses. Remember, there has to be something. There isn't. She's looking at her hands. My fingers hurt. In the joints. That's the first sign, isn't it? Joint pain. I take her hands in mine. They feel normal. Human. Could just be stress. You're exhausted. We're all exhausted. David. Her voice is very steady. I need you to promise me something. If I start to transform, really transform, not just symptoms but actual morphological changes, you take Lily and you go. You don't wait. You don't try to save me. You just take our daughter and run. Rachel, promise me, because if you don't promise, I'll walk out of this building right now. I'll separate myself from both of you. I won't risk Lily's life because you couldn't make the hard choice. 21 years of marriage. I know when she's bluffing and when she's not. This is not. I promise. She kisses me. Quick, hard. I love you. I love you too. Lily's watching us from the hospital bed. She's smart enough to know something's wrong. Smart enough not to ask. The 4 bags 3/4 empty. Maybe 70% of treatment complete. Lily's vitals are stable according to the monitor, heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen saturation all normal. The morphological changes in her elbow have stopped progressing. The treatment's working, but Rachel's getting worse. The cough's constant now. She's trying to breathe quietly, but I can hear the wheeze. And her hands, when she reaches for the water bottle, I see her fingers bend just slightly wrong. Extra flexibility in the knuckles, like her joints are loosening. Rachel, your hands. I know. One of the nurses, young woman, maybe late 20s, wearing scrubs with cartoon characters on them, approaches with a scanner. She's been checking the remaining patients every 20 minutes. Protocol. She scans Lily. Green beep. Looking good. Maybe another 45 minutes. Then she scans Rachel. The scanner beeps red. 3 short bursts. The nurse's expression changes. Professional mask falling into place. Mrs. Rosen, I need you to come with me. No. Your infection has progressed to active transformation. We have a secure room. A secure room. Rachel laughs. It's not a happy sound. You mean the black zone tent, where you put people until they transform completely and then you shoot them. The nurse doesn't deny it. I'm staying with my daughter, Rachel says. Mrs. Rosen, you're a danger to other patients. My daughter is the only other patient in this section, and her father's here. If I become dangerous, he'll handle it. She looks at me. Won't you, David? How do I handle it? How do I stop my wife if she transforms into something that can bend bones and move like the things we saw on the freeway? With what? Good intentions? I'll handle it. I lie. The nurse looks between us. Looks at Lily hooked to the 4. Looks at the empty treatment ward. Makes a decision. I'll be back in 15 minutes to check your daughter's progress. If you're still transforming, she pulls something from her pocket. A syringe filled with clear liquid. Sets it on the table next to the bed. This is compressed pentobarbital. Overdose will cause death within 60 seconds. It's painless. She walks away before we can respond. Rachel stares at the syringe. You're not using that, I say. If I fully transform. You're not going to fully transform. David, the doctor said I have hours at most. Lily's treatment finishes in 45 minutes. The smoke arrives in. She checks the wall clock. 90 minutes. The math doesn't work. She's right. The math doesn't work. But math's never been good at accounting for desperate parents. Then we change the math. I say, how? I don't know. Think. Think like you're at Deloitte doing risk analysis. What are the variables? What can we control? Lily's treatment, 45 minutes. Can't speed it up. That's fixed. Rachel's transformation, progressing now, maybe 90 minutes until complete based on what the doctor said earlier. Also fixed. The smoke, 90 minutes until arrival. Maybe we can, no, can't stop smoke, but we can leave. We take Lily, 4 in all, and we get to the evacuation helicopters. I say, they won't let us on. Red zone, transforming patient plus asymptomatic family. We're bottom priority. Then we take a helicopter. You know how to fly a helicopter? But someone here does. And if I put a gun to their head, I stop. Do we have a gun? David, listen to yourself. You're talking about hijacking a military helicopter. You have a better idea? She doesn't. We both know she doesn't. Lily's 4 bag is almost empty. Another 15 minutes, maybe. Rachel's hands are worse. The joints aren't just flexible now, they're rearranging. I can see the bones moving under her skin. Her fingers are getting longer. The nails are starting to thicken, darken. She sees me looking. Don't, she says. Don't look at me like that. Like what? Like I'm already gone. You're not gone, David. She holds up her hands. We both see what they're becoming. I'm halfway gone. Lily's watching. Silent tears running down her face. Mom. Hey, baby. Rachel's voice is steady even though her hands are shaking. How you feeling? My arm's sore from the 4. But okay. Pause. Are you okay? Rachel forces a smile. Just tired. The lie hangs in the air. We're teaching our daughter that love means lying when the truth is too terrible. The 4 bag empties. The drip stops. The nurse comes back. Different one this time, older, gray hair. Treatment complete. I'm going to remove the 4 and she'll need to rest for at least 30 minutes. We don't have 30 minutes, I say. Can she walk? Sir, after calcium channel blocker protocol, patients need stabilization time. Can she walk? The nurse looks at Lily. Probably, but she'll be weak, dizzy. She shouldn't be moving around. She'll have to be. I help Lily sit up. She's wobbly but stays upright. The nurse removes the 4, puts a bandage on her arm. Lily slides off the bed. Her legs shake but hold. Dad, where are we going? Helicopter pad. They won't let us on, the nurse says. Your wife's transforming. Security won't allow her near the evac birds. Then we'll go around security. How? Good question. The building's emergency exit has to be one. Fire code requires it even in military structures. I start checking doors. Third one I try opens onto an exterior stairwell. This way, we go down the stairs, me supporting Lily, Rachel following. Her movements are getting jerky. The transformation's affecting her motor control. But she's keeping up. We emerge at ground level. The helicopter pad's visible to the north, maybe 300 yards. I can see 2 birds still on the ground, rotors spinning. Loading passengers. There are lights everywhere. Floodlights, vehicle headlights, flashlights carried by security personnel. The whole base is lit up like a stadium. We'll never make it across without being seen, Rachel says. Her voice sounds wrong now. Deeper. There's something happening to her vocal cords. Then we don't go across. We go around. Use the buildings for cover. We move between structures. Supply buildings, hangars, maintenance facilities. Staying in shadows where we can. Lily's getting tired. The treatment took a lot out of her. But she keeps walking. Behind us, to the east, the smoke. I can see it rising over the mountains now. Purple-gray cloud lit from below by the lights of dying cities. It's moving faster than the weather reports predicted. Maybe 30 minutes away, maybe less. We're 50 yards from the helicopter pad when security spots us. Hey, Stop! Two Marines running toward us. Armed. Of course they're armed. I push Lily ahead. Run. We run. Lily's stumbling. I'm half carrying her. Rachel stops running. I turn back. She's standing in the middle of the tarmac. Her hands aren't human anymore. The fingers are too long, the joints all wrong. And her face, her beautiful face, the bones are shifting underneath. Cheekbones rising. Jaw extending. Eyes widening. Rachel, come on. I can't. Her voice is barely recognizable. David, I can't control it anymore. I can feel it happening. I can feel myself. She makes a sound between a sob and something else. Something animal. The Marines are 20 feet away. Weapons raising. Ma'am, get on the ground. Get on the ground now. Rachel looks at me. Our eyes meet, and I see her in there. My wife, mother of my daughter, the woman I've loved for 21 years. Still in there, still fighting. Take care of Lily, she says. Then she charges the Marines, not away from them, at them, drawing their attention, their weapons, giving me time to run with Lily. The Marines fire. The sound is deafening. 3 shots, 4, 5. Rachel goes down. Don't remember starting. Just screaming my wife's name while dragging Lily toward the helicopters. We reach the closest bird. The crew chief is loading the last passengers. We need to get on. I'm shouting over the rotors. Sir, manifest is full. My daughter just finished suppression treatment. She's stable. She's green zone. He looks at Lily, looks at his tablet. The calculus of triage playing out in his eyes. Get in. I lift Lily into the helicopter. Climb in after her. We're in. We made it. I look back at the tarmac. Rachel's body is still there. The Marines are standing over it. One of them is calling something on his radio. My wife of 21 years. Mother of my only child. The person I promised to love in sickness and in health. Till death do us part. Dead on a naval base tarmac because she got sick in a way marriage vows never anticipated. Lily hasn't seen. I'm blocking her view. She's sobbing into my shirt, face buried against my chest. The helicopter lifts off. I watch Rachel's body get smaller. Watch the Marines drag her toward a dark tarp. Watch them cover her. Watch them move on to the next crisis. The smoke reaches Point Magoo as we clear the coastline. I see it roll across the base. See it engulf the buildings, the tent city, the remaining personnel. See the evacuation point become the thing they were evacuating from. We fly west over the ocean, heading for Vandenberg, or San Francisco, or somewhere else that's not contaminated yet. Somewhere that'll hold for a day or a week, or until this thing spreads there too. Lily looks up at me. Where's Mom? And I have to decide. Right now, what do I tell her? The truth. That I watched her mother transform and die and I did nothing? That I made a promise and kept it? That Rachel sacrificed herself so we could escape? Or do I lie? Tell her Mom's at a different evacuation point? That we'll find her later? Buy myself time before I have to explain that her mother's gone? I open my mouth. Close it. Open it again. Your mom made sure we got out, I say. She made sure you were safe. It's not exactly the truth. It's not exactly a lie. It's the only thing I can say that won't destroy her more than she's already destroyed. Lily nods. Doesn't ask for more details. 7 years old and already learning that sometimes you don't push for the whole truth. The crew chief hands me a headset. We're heading to Vandenberg. Supposed to be stable there. They've got shelter for another 50,000 refugees. For how long? As long as it lasts. The helicopter carries us up the coast. Below, darkness. The power grids failed across Southern California. Millions of people in that darkness. Millions transformed or dead or running. I hold Lily. Feel her breathing. Feel her heart beating. She's alive. Human. The treatment worked. Rachel died to make sure that happened. And I'm supposed to be grateful. Supposed to feel relief. Supposed to focus on the fact that my daughter survived. But all I feel is Rachel's absence. The space where she should be sitting. The conversations we'll never have. The future we planned. Retirement in San Diego, watching Lily graduate college, becoming grandparents someday. All of it gone because purple smoke came out of the ground in Griffith Park and turned Los Angeles into hell. The helicopter flies on through the darkness. And I hold my daughter and try not to think about my wife's body under a dark tarp on a naval base that's probably contaminated now anyway. Vandenberg's the same as Point Magoo was. Tent city, processing stations, colored lines. They scan Lily, green tone. Cleared. Scan me, yellow tone. Quarantine. I'm separated from her again. Different buildings. Different zones. She's crying when they take her to the children's section. 7-year-old orphan, effectively. Mother dead. Father in quarantine. They'll put her with other separated kids. Give her a cot and MREs and maybe a stuffed animal if they have any left. I'm back in a yellow zone hangar. Different base, same setup. Rows of cots. Fluorescent lights. Coughing. Crying. Waiting. It's been 6 days. 6 days and I still can't get cleared from quarantine. Every time they scan me, I'm borderline. Not green enough to release. Not red enough to treat. Just perpetually yellow. Perpetually borderline. Perpetually in this limbo between healthy and transforming. They let me see Lily once a day. 30-minute supervised visits in a neutral zone between sectors. She looks smaller each time. Lost weight she didn't have to lose. Stopped talking much. Just sits there while I try to make conversation about nothing because what is there to say? How was breakfast? Did you sleep okay? Are the other kids nice? Questions that don't matter when your world ended on a freeway 6 days ago. I haven't told her the truth about Rachel yet. Keep saying mom's at a different facility. That will find her when this stabilizes. Lily doesn't believe me. I can see it in her eyes. 7 years old and already learning that adults lie when the truth is impossible. The smoke spread to San Francisco now. Oakland. Sacramento. The evacuation keeps moving north. Oregon's put the National Guard on the border. Washington's threatening to close off the entire state. Vandenberg's holding so far. The marine layer keeps the smoke offshore. But it's getting closer. I can see it from the hangar windows. Purple-gray wall creeping up the coast. Another week maybe. Maybe less. They briefed us yesterday. Mass evacuation to Arizona desert bases. They're setting up containment zones in the middle of nowhere. 100-mile perimeters. Places where the smoke can't spread because there's nothing to spread to. If you're cleared green zone by evacuation time, you get transport. If you're still yellow or red, you stay behind. I've been yellow for 6 days. The scans show trace markers in my blood. Some kind of proteins the infection produces. Not enough to cause transformation. Not low enough to clear me. The doctors say it could go either way. My immune system might eliminate it completely. Or the proteins might accumulate until they trigger cascade transformation. 50-50 odds. Coin flip. My life decided by blood chemistry I can't control. Lily's green. Has been since day 2. The suppression treatment worked perfectly. She'll get on the transport to Arizona. She'll survive this. I might not. They're asking me to sign papers. Custody transfer in case I don't make it. Where does Lily go if I transform or die? Rachel's sister was in Encino. No confirmation she survived. My parents in Sherman Oaks. Same. Rachel's parents in the valley. Same. Everyone we know is probably dead or transformed. Our whole support network. Aunts, uncles, cousins, friends from Deloitte, Rachel's nursing colleagues. All of them were in the basin when the smoke hit. So Lily goes to foster care. State custody. Another orphan of the Los Angeles contamination event. They've got thousands now. Whole camps full of kids whose parents transformed or died. Setting up long-term facilities in Utah and Nevada. My daughter will grow up in a government facility because I'm borderline yellow and might transform any day now. The man on the cot next to me. Different man than Point Magoo, younger, maybe 30, wearing a torn In-N-Out burger shirt. Started showing symptoms yesterday. Joint pain in his knees. They took him to red zone this morning. I heard him screaming when they tried to administer suppression treatment. Adult doses don't work as well. Success rates may be 30% compared to 70% for children. They brought him back 3 hours later. Treatment failed. Transformation accelerating. He's in black zone now. I know what that means. Everyone in yellow zone knows what that means. We don't talk about it. At night I dream about Rachel. Not transformed Rachel. Regular Rachel. Rachel making breakfast in our Westwood kitchen. Rachel driving Lily to school. Rachel coming home from her shift at Cedars-Sinai, exhausted, complaining about hospital politics, normal things, boring things, things I took for granted for 21 years. I wake up and she's dead on a naval base tarmac, and I'm in a quarantine hangar, and our daughter's in a children's tent learning to live without her mother. My hands are fine. No extra joints. No bone movement under the skin. Same hands I've had for 46 years. Wedding ring still on the left one. Still fits. Haven't taken it off since Rachel put it there in 2004. Not planning to take it off. Even if I transform. Even if they shoot me in black zone. I'll die wearing this ring. Today's visit with Lily, I check my watch. Seiko my father gave me when I made senior associate at Deloitte. 12 years ago. Still works. Still keeps time even though time doesn't mean what it used to. 15 minutes until they escort me to the neutral zone. I try to think of things to talk about. Can't mention the evacuation. She'll ask if I'm going with her and I don't know the answer. Can't mention Rachel, I'm running out of lies about different facilities. Can't mention home. There is no home anymore. Westwood's contaminated. Our house is probably full of smoke and transformed people by now. So what's left? School's gone. Friends are scattered or dead. Her playdate with Zoe Kellerman never happened. Won't happen. Zoe's family was in Brentwood. Zone 7. Evacuation started from there. Might have made it out. Probably didn't. Mrs. Humphrey's class. 2nd grade. The classroom with the reading corner and the hamster named Chester. All gone. Everything that made up Lily's world gone. And I'm supposed to talk to her for 30 minutes about nothing because talking about something means acknowledging that everything's gone, and she's 7 years old and shouldn't have to acknowledge that yet. The escort arrives. Different guard than yesterday. They rotate them. Don't want anyone forming attachments to quarantine prisoners. That's what we are. Prisoners waiting to see if we'll transform or clear. The neutral zone is a small building between sectors. Plastic chairs. Table. No windows. They let families meet here for exactly 30 minutes. Time it with a stopwatch. Lily's already there when I arrive. Sitting in a plastic chair. Wearing clothes I don't recognize, donated items probably. Her Westwood charter shirt with the school logo is gone. She's in a plain gray t-shirt 3 sizes too big and jeans that don't fit right. She doesn't stand up when I come in. Doesn't smile. Just looks at me with those brown rosen eyes. Hey Lil, I sit across from her. The guard stands by the door. Watching. Timing. How was breakfast? Cereal. The Cheerios kind. They're rationing dairy. Something about supply lines from Nevada. My 7-year-old daughter knows about supply line rationing. You sleeping okay? There's a girl on the cot next to me who cries every night. She's 5. Her name's Amanda. Her parents are both in black zone. Both parents. Which means both parents are dead now. 5-year-old orphan crying herself to sleep and my daughter listening to it every night. That must be hard. Yeah. Silence. 28 minutes left. Dad. When can I see Mom? There it is. The question I can't keep deflecting. Lil. Don't lie to me. Please don't lie to me anymore. The other kids say their parents are dead. They say that's what black zone means. They say that's what happens when the treatment doesn't work. Her voice is steady. Too steady for 7 years old. Mom didn't come to Vandenberg. I asked the intake people. There's no Rachel Rosen in the system. So where is she? I look at the guard. He's expressionless. Heard this conversation 1,000 times probably. I look back at Lily. Your mom got sick on the base at Point Magoo. The infection. She started transforming. The treatment, there wasn't treatment for adults. They ran out. I'm talking slowly, choosing words. She made sure we got to the helicopter, made sure you were safe. And then, she died. Yes, Lily nods. Doesn't cry, doesn't react. Just nods like I've confirmed something she already knew. When? 6 days ago. Same night we got to Point Magoo. So she's been dead this whole time and you've been lying about different facilities. Yes. Why? Because you're 7 years old and you'd already lost everything, and I thought, I don't know what I thought, that I could protect you from one more thing, that I could give you a few more days before you had to know. I'm crying now. She's not. I'm so sorry. She looks at her hands. Small hands, still growing. Hands that'll never hold her mother's hand again. Are you going to die too? I don't know. Maybe. They don't know if I'll transform or clear. The blood markers are borderline. What happens to me if you die? Foster care. State custody. They'll take care of you. I don't want state custody. I want mom and dad and our house and my school and Zoe and Mrs. Humphrey and Chester the hamster. Her voice is rising, finally cracking. I want things to be normal again. I know, baby. I know. Can't you make it normal? No, I can't. I'm an associate at Deloitte, was an associate at Deloitte. I analyze risk assessments and financial portfolios and corporate tax structures. I can't make smoke unexist. Can't untransform millions of people. Can't bring her mother back. I can't make it normal. I wish I could, but I can't. She starts crying then, really crying. 7 years old and everything she knows is gone, and her father's borderline yellow zone and might transform any day, and there's nothing anyone can do about any of it. I move around the table. The guard tenses but doesn't stop me. I hold Lily while she cries. I've got you, I say. As long as I can, I've got you. It's all I can promise. All anyone can promise anymore. The guard clears his throat. Time's up. 30 minutes over. I have to let her go. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? I tell Lily, what if you're not here tomorrow? Then I'll see you the day after. Or the day after that. As many days as I get. She nods, wipes her face on the too big gray shirt, stands up, walks toward the children's section escort who's appeared at a different door. She doesn't look back. I'm taken back to yellow zone, back to my cot, back to waiting. The man in the In-N-Out Burger shirt's cot is empty. They don't strip the beds when someone goes to black zone. Just leave them empty. Reminder of where you might be going next. I lie down, stare at the hangar ceiling. Industrial lights, steel beams, high windows showing gray sky. Somewhere out there, the smoke's still spreading, still transforming people, still moving north and east and south, consuming cities, consuming civilization. Los Angeles is gone. San Diego's gone. Phoenix is gone. Vegas is gone. San Francisco's mostly gone. The entire West Coast is becoming a transformation zone. They're talking about abandoning California entirely, moving the evacuation to the Rockies, setting up new containment zones in Colorado and Montana, places where winter might slow the smoke, where altitude and cold might create natural barriers. I'll probably never see California again, never drive the 405. Not that there's anything left of it. Never take Lily to Santa Monica Pier or Disneyland or any of the places we planned to go when she was older. All those future memories that'll never happen. Rachel and I used to talk about retirement. Selling the Westwood house, worth $2 million easy, maybe more in a few years, and moving somewhere quieter. San Luis Obispo maybe. Or Santa Barbara. Somewhere we could walk on the beach every morning and not worry about traffic and city noise. We talk about watching Lily grow up. High school graduation, college, maybe grandkids someday. Rachel wanted 3 grandchildren. Specific number. She had names picked out already even though Lily was 7 and nowhere near having children. All those conversations, all those plans, all that future, gone because purple smoke came out of the ground. I still don't understand why. What caused it? The briefings say seismic event, but that doesn't explain the transformation. Doesn't explain how smoke can restructure human biology. Doesn't explain any of this. Maybe it's something geological, something buried underground for millions of years that the earthquake released. Maybe it's something else, something worse. Doesn't matter now. Understanding it won't change it. Won't bring Rachel back. Won't clear the yellow zone markers from my blood. I check my hands again. Still normal. Still human. Still wearing the wedding ring. 21 years married. That's 7,665 days. Give or take. We spent most of them together. Breakfast every morning. Dinner most nights. Weekend trips to Big Sur. Holidays with extended family. Normal couple things. And at the end, on a naval base tarmac, she charged at Marines to buy me 30 seconds to get our daughter on a helicopter. That's who she was. Mother first. Wife second. Person third. In that order. Always. I should have told her how much I loved her. How grateful I was that she chose me out of everyone she could have chosen. How lucky I felt every single day for 21 years. I didn't say it enough. Took it for granted. Thought we had time. We didn't have time. Nobody has time anymore. The smoke doesn't care about your plans or your future or your promises. It just comes and transforms everything, and you either run fast enough or you don't. We almost didn't run fast enough. Lily's alive because Rachel died. That's the math. Simple calculation. Brutal but true. And I'm alive because I tested borderline instead of positive? Because some random protein markers in my blood are slightly lower than transformation threshold. Because I got lucky? Luck. What a word. Lucky to watch your wife die. Lucky to be separated from your daughter. Lucky to spend 6 days in yellow zone quarantine waiting to see if you'll transform and get shot in a black zone tent. The evacuation briefing is tomorrow. They'll announce who's cleared for transport to Arizona, who's staying behind, who's getting one more chance at a future, and who's run out of chances. I'll probably stay behind. The numbers haven't moved in 6 days. No reason to think they'll move tomorrow. So Lily goes to Arizona without me. Grows up in state custody. Remembers her father as the guy who was borderline yellow and didn't make it out. At least she'll remember me human, not transformed. That's something. Small comfort. But it's all I've got. I close my eyes. Try to sleep. Dream about Rachel in our Westwood kitchen. Making breakfast. Complaining about hospital politics. Being alive and human and mine. I wake up and she's still dead. Still dead yesterday. Still dead today. Still dead tomorrow. Still dead every day after that for the rest of however long I have left. The rest of my life measured in blood markers and scanner tones, and whether I'll be green enough to see my daughter grow up or yellow enough to die in a quarantine hangar. That's what's left. That's what this is now. I don't pray. Never have. But I'm praying now. Praying to whoever or whatever might be listening. Praying the numbers move. Praying I get cleared. Praying I get to stay with Lily. Not for me. For her. She's already lost her mother. She shouldn't lose me too. But prayer doesn't change blood chemistry. Doesn't change protein markers. Doesn't change anything except maybe making me feel like I'm doing something when I'm not. I'm not doing anything. Just lying on a cot in yellow zone waiting for tomorrow's scan. Waiting to see if I'm still borderline or if I've tipped one way or the other. Waiting to see if I get a future or if this is all I get. 6 days in limbo. Maybe a 7th. Maybe more. Maybe forever. The wedding ring stays on my finger. Rachel stays dead. Lily stays in the children's tent learning to live without us. And I stay here. Borderline. Yellow. Neither transforming nor clearing. Just waiting. Always waiting. That's what's left of my life now. Waiting to see which way the coin falls.